Hello Reformers and welcome to a special feature of Luna Online Reborn. This is an anime-themed MMORPG that is a remake of Luna Online Plus and Luna Online, which actually came out a number of years ago, and they're remaking it to try and improve the experience. So, as you can see here, you can select from 3 different races, and these 3 different races can be all kinds of different classes as well, because when every class levels from 1 to 20, and then from 20 to 40, and so on and so forth, all the way up to 140 and maybe even beyond that, you can decide on different advanced classes. So all of these have, of course, different play styles. So for example, if you were going to play as a human, you can choose to play as a fighter, a rogue, or a mage. And the fighter, rogue, mage classes all have separate branches themselves. So if you wanted to play as a fighter, but you wanted to use a one-handed and a shield, then you have a class that does that. But if you wanted to use a two-handed, then of course you have classes that do that as well. So that's pretty cool. Then you have a rogue, which changes things up a little bit because a rogue can either play with a dagger, so it's a little bit more stabby, you know, or it can use a bow. And that's pretty cool, so you can become like a ranger. That's pretty nice, in my opinion. Otherwise, you can play as a mage, and the mages are quite different as well. You can play with, well, all kinds of different spells, actually. You can play with fireballs, and frost spells, and lightning spells. And if you don't want to do any of that, and you want to play with other people, then you can actually heal people as well. So, that's pretty cool. Otherwise, the 3 races, as far as I'm aware, the only difference between the humans and the elves are obviously their look, you know, they change their look, and also their racial trait, because the humans have a racial trait of critical damage plus 5%, and the elves have dodge plus 5%. So personally, I felt like the elf was much better for a rogue, so they can dodge more, and, well, humans do have that critical damage, so I suppose that's good. Now, of course, the only thing that I have not talked about so far is the Magine. Yes, as you could see. Oh, it's a demon. Yes. Can you imagine? It's actually a demon. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, and you can obviously choose between male or female as well, and they have different looks and different ways of riding mounts and all kinds of things like that. So, yeah, the Magine cannot choose any class because it starts off just as that, just as a Magine, and then as you go, you can specialize in basically anything you want. That's the freedom of this game. You can decide to play it any way you want, and I think the Magine actually has probably the most freedom out of all of the other classes because it can choose to specialize in strength, dexterity, or intelligence for its various attacks. So why don't I show you what I mean and we'll go into the game. Alright, so if you would like to play this MMO, by the way, there is a link in the description. Anyway, we are here in the starting zone, and as you can see, we have Luna on the right here actually telling us, hey, welcome, you know, all that sort of thing. And, well, they actually have a pretty decent tutorial here. Most MMOs will have a tutorial of sorts, but this tends to explain things maybe a little bit easier. As you can see, there's a huge wide variety of different tutorials that you can look at here, and they take you through every single respect of the, you know, starting area of the game, and, you know, it's pretty cool. Otherwise, you can take quests, of course. Yeah, now this is very much sort of like an old new school MMO because it's very much a sort of standard quick bar based MMO, but in the same respect, it kind of has that nostalgic charm of the MMOs where you would sit down to restore your mana and health. I mean, don't get me wrong, you don't actually have to do that in this. You can, if you don't have any potions or anything, but for the most part, the speed of your leveling is determined by, in my opinion, at least, having enough HP and mana potions. They are going to make a huge difference to the speed at which you move. As you can see as well, you can just click on the map anywhere you like, and then your character will move there. So that saves a lot of micromanaging and all that sort of thing. So anyway, we have our first mission. Now, the one thing that this game has that I think basically no other MMORPG that I've played in recent memory has, and that is a bot system. Yes, it has a bot system, which is basically an auto-hunting system. So if I just bring that up right here, as you can see, these are my settings at the moment. So as you can see, what it does is it only kills quest monsters, it will revive itself and continue to auto-hunt, and it will take HP breaks when you go below 30% HP. So all of this is automated. So if I, just want to take it easy and, Alt-Tab every so often, and I don't really want to spend too much time, in the game killing monsters, then I can just allow the bot system to do that for me. Now, this is currently on 6 seconds. I'm going to raise that to 12 because at this early stage in the game, it is really not necessary to use potions every 6 seconds. I was using that on my higher level character because I've actually been playing the game for just over 10 hours. I'm not entirely sure. It says 12 hours on Steam, but I don't think that's accurate. I think I don't know, I think I may have spent a little bit less than that, but it's because I sometimes leave the game on and my character's just killing things, so that's the cool thing. You can actually do that. You can leave the game on, and if you have enough potions, you can just allow your character to kill things, and then you can come back and then your quest's done, that sort of thing. It's pretty cool. So if you don't want to have like a, any kind of, I don't know, if you don't want to grind yourself, then you can literally just allow the bot to do it. And I think that's really, really cool. It's really nice to actually see that there is an option to do that, because I know a lot of people, they may not like to grind. Yeah, I mean, maybe sometimes they'd like to, fight a little bit, but right now I'm actually not doing anything. I'm actually not doing anything, believe it or not. I have my hands off the keyboard. I'm just sitting here just relaxing and allowing my character to just do everything that it needs to do. Now, it's just going to go around in this area and it's going to try and find as many quest NPCs that it can, and once it's done, it's just going to stop. Now, the one thing that I would like to see, maybe the developers will change that, I'm not entirely sure, but once the quest is done, your character will just stand there. It will say, oh, I'd like to select another target, and so on and so forth. But what it will do is it will continue to use potions, which is, of course, a bit of a, if you leave it alone, then you're gonna use all of your potions. And sometimes that's not particularly good, because if you get distracted by something or you just don't return to your character's just going to use all the potions. So obviously that's something to watch out for, but I think for the most part you don't even have to use potions if you don't want to. I mean, I could just untick this right here and then my character won't use potions in combat. So there is that to take into account. Otherwise, they do give you a tutorial on how to use your points as well. So as you can see here, we have a wide variety of different stats. Now, this is when the game gets much more interesting, because you can select, as a Magine at least, you can select Strength, which is a physical damage increasing stat. Basically doesn't do anything else, it just increases your physical damage. Dexterity, however, increases your physical attack power, your magic attack power, your physical defense, and your magic defense. And I believe that increases it every 2 points of dexterity. So, for example, I have 20 points right now. Usually, it is a good idea in this game, at least, to not diversify your points too much. And on my higher level character, who is about level 20 at the moment, I've not diversified at all. I have only gone for a dexterity build, because I'm playing a rogue as well, by the way. I'm playing an elf rogue, actually. And I found that dexterity is actually really cool because it increases your critical chance, increases your dodge rating, and basically it just increases everything that you really need, to be honest. And then my other character is actually a Magine as well, and I've spec'd into intelligence, and that gives me magic damage. Now, the Magine obviously has 2 different kinds of skills. One is obviously based on physical damage, and the other one is based on magical damage. And my Magine mainly uses magical damage spells and then just finishes people off with his daggers. But for this, just for the sake of showing off the sort of early development of a character, I'm not going to be showing the entirety of the leveling process, obviously. I'm going to be skipping to our higher level character in just a couple of moments, but yeah, I'm going to be speccing into dexterity here and then just accepting that. And we can also now learn skills. Let's get some more dexterity there, thank you very much. But yes, now we can also learn skills. So if we go to our skill tree here, as you can see, we just have Return to Bind, which is basically just teleporting back. Now, we have various kinds of blessings. Now these are buffs, and basically they give you all kinds of amazing abilities. This is the one that my higher level Majin uses. Reduces magic cast time by 15% while increasing dodge rate and mana recovery rate by 10 to 20% respectively. That's pretty amazing in my opinion. Otherwise, we have increases magic max HP, physical defense, wisdom, and so on and so forth. And then we have this one, which is physical attack speed, which I'm going to be going for right now. And then we're going to go and do some more fighting. Alright, so I'm in the quest location right now, and as you can see, I've spec'd into the Blessing of Beelzebub, the Double Impact skill, which is a physical damage skill, and also Engage. Now, all these things do various different effects. You know, Double Impact actually bleeds the enemy, so that's pretty nice. We're going to cast this buff on ourselves, and then we'll be able to do even more damage. Now, once I've just shown off a little bit of what the early game has to offer, we're going to switch to a high level character, because I'm actually on my quest at the moment to change our class and to actually advance into the next one, which can, I think, be selected between, I think there are two different choices. One is a Ruffian, which is what I'm going to be going for, and the other one is a, I've forgotten now. Oh, that's fantastic, isn't it? I always forget those things. I certainly always do. Anyway, the point is, there you go. Yeah, so we're going to be going and seeing what's actually going on with that, but as you can see, I'm using the bot at the moment, and just have a look at my quick bar at the moment. My quick bar is being used, it's using the skills, it's using the potions, and you can customize this however you so desire. So if you want to use your abilities even faster, I currently have mine on a 3-second cooldown, so I don't really want to be using my skills too much because it's going to drain your mana extremely fast, especially with an ability like Engage, which currently has a reuse time, which is basically the cooldown, of 0.4 seconds. So obviously that is certainly something you want to avoid. You don't want to get out of mana too fast. And otherwise, the early quests are actually really helpful because they will give you exactly what you need to progress in the game. And I even though I may have played for about 10 to 12 hours, I've actually played a variety of different characters just to try everything out, really, and see which one I actually liked. But the fact is that the new player experience and the early leveling is very, very easy and actually pretty relaxing, hilariously enough. I mean, I guess that is due to the bot system in place. I feel like that is actually making a huge difference there. Now, I have not mentioned this before, but there will be two codes. There are two codes down in the description, and if you go into the game and you enter these at a particular NPC, which I'm actually going to show you in just a second. Hopefully I'll be... Do you think I'm going to be able to get my mount here? I don't know whether I'm going to get my mount. Yes, I think I'm going to get the mount. That's great. Yeah, so they give you a mount basically for free, and you're able to use that however you so desire, which is really quite nice. And here it is. Yes, I have the mount summoned. And now this mount will just follow you. It literally will just follow you wherever you need to go, and you can get on and off it at will. So you don't even need to summon it. It's literally instant. So if you just press U, the keybind for me is U at the moment, so you can press that and you can get on your mount and you can go all the way over here. I wouldn't recommend leaving the starting zone until you have reached about level 10 as far as I'm aware. But yeah, this is where the main hub is. As you can see, there are a bunch of people here. They're trading things and buying things and all that sort of thing. Now, if you go here to this event NPC, the event mouse, you can use a pre-registration code. And these two codes are in the description down below. One of them will give you a white tiger mount for 30 days. It's really, really fast. It goes at about 150% speed as far as I'm aware. This horse that I'm currently on only goes at 100%. So yeah, it's going to go a lot faster. And then the other code, which is, I believe, ILOVELUNA, yeah, that will give you a random pet. And pets, you can summon those and they'll help you in battle. I think my higher level character actually does have a pet, so we'll be able to see that in just a second. Alright, so as you can see, here is ReformIt. Yes, I have a number of different characters with different variations of reform, and then an I, and then some letter, because I'm absolutely imaginative like that. Anyway, we're going to be killing some goblin escorts here for their magic crystals. I need these magic crystals to do something. As far as I'm aware, the magic crystals are for the... there's a fellow that actually needs them for some kind of craft, and he has employed the Rogues Guild, which we are, of course, a part of, to retrieve those for us. Now, as you can see, I'm dealing so much damage here. I mean, obviously, I'm level 20, so these guys are level 19, but I was in an area where it was taking me a long time to kill things because I wasn't yet level 20, and I didn't have the next level of dagger. But now I do, and it's just absolutely murdering everything, so that's fantastic. But yeah, you do need to watch out for maybe skipping ahead in terms of the areas, and maybe you'd like to do some other repeatable quests, because there are actually repeatable quests in the areas from level 15 onwards, and that makes things so much easier in terms of gaining experience, because you don't want to be grinding all the time, do you? No, you don't want to just be killing enemies. Actually, killing enemies is pretty lucrative, because on the one hand, it gives you training points. Now, training points are different from skill points. Now, if we just navigate over here, as you can see, I have 7,500 training points. Now, you gain training points every single time you kill an enemy, but you gain skill points only when you level up. So you need to be a little bit careful about what skills you actually spec into, which I've done here. I haven't spec'd into anything related to bows, because obviously I'm not going to be using a bow. So it would be a huge waste if I were to spec into something that was bow related, of course. But otherwise, you can spend training points for various passive stat increases. So as you can see here, I've already spec'd into the dexterity increase, the strength increase, and so on and so forth. I mean, I don't know how effective these really are, because they are quite... they're not really big increases, but as you can see, I mean, I only have about 300 dexterity, so if I get an increase of 30, which is, you know, pretty decent, that's a 10% increase, then that's fine. I don't really mind that. Obviously, they get very, very expensive as time goes on, but you're not meant to have the highest level, you know, stuff from the very beginning. But yeah, anyway, we are 6 magic crystals away from doing our quest. And so I guess I'll see you back at the quest NPC, which just so happens to be at the Zincandia Mines. Alright, so we have arrived back at the mining expert, and we can now hand in our quest. Alright, thank you for completing the mission. Please tell Tier that I am very satisfied. And as you can see, we're going to be gaining that, apparently? Don't I already have that? Okay, well, we can just... Yes, return to Tier at the harbor already, yes. Okay, so the cool thing about this is that they give you huge amounts of teleportation scrolls, and as you can see, I have a return scroll for a specific location. I also have a pet revival scroll. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you my pet. My pet, at the moment, is a red slime. Yes, it's a frozen slime, actually. You can actually acquire this in the first area, as far as I'm aware, and the pet from the code down in the description is actually... random, completely random. I actually got a hedgehog on my other character, so that was pretty cool. That was I think a 3 or a 4-star pet, so it was pretty powerful. Anyway, yes, we need to teleport back, so I'm going to be using this return scroll to Alker Harbor. Alright, so we're back in Alker Harbor, and as you can see, this is where Tier is, the one for our rogue union here. So let's talk to her and see what we're going to be. There you go! Class change to Ruffian has been completed. There we are. So does that mean that I'm going to get some more skills now? I think it is. Yeah, there you go. We have acquired Perforate, Wind Breaking, and, well, all kinds of amazing other things. So, yeah, that is actually pretty cool. Look at that. Okay, so powerfully pierces the enemy to leave a critical wound and deals 90% damage. Pierces the target with a wind slashing force to deal 36% damage to all enemies within 6. Okay, so that's our AoE ability. I haven't had an AoE ability before. I think the only one I kind of did have was... Where is that now? No, it seems like I've lost... Oh, no, there it is, Sand Spray. No, that is just a single target. So that is our first AoE ability as the rogue. Pretty nice. Anyway, if you'd like to check out this game, the link is in the description. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.